Why is everyone suddenly Googling the Nephilim? These mysterious giants from ancient scriptures have sparked curiosity and fascination for centuries. Were they fallen angels, mighty human rulers, or something else entirely? The legends surrounding the Nephilim are as intriguing as they are enigmatic, touching on themes of divine rebellion, ancient battles, and the supernatural. Their story weaves through the fabric of biblical history, leaving behind a trail of wonder and speculation. Understanding the Nephilim involves exploring their origins, their impact on humanity, and the epic tales of those who encountered them. Now let's explore the true story of the Nephilim and uncover the secrets behind these legendary giants. Origins of the Nephilim. The Nephilim's origins are deeply rooted in biblical accounts, particularly in Genesis 6:1-4. This passage describes how the sons of God saw the daughters of men and took them as wives, resulting in the birth of the Nephilim. These beings were mighty and renowned, existing both before and after the Great Flood. While the text does not explicitly mention angels, other scriptures such as Job 38:4-7 suggest that the sons of God were indeed angels. The term sons of God in the Old Testament often refers to angelic beings, supporting the idea that these beings were fallen angels who mated with human women. This interpretation is further reinforced by other biblical passages that describe the sons of God in similar terms. The idea that angels could have interacted with humans in such a way may seem strange to modern readers, but it is a recurring theme in ancient texts. The context implies that the Nephilim were the offspring of spirit beings and humans, a notion that adds a layer of complexity to our understanding of ancient biblical history. The Nephilim, or fallen ones, were described as mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Their existence is shrouded in mystery, but their impact on the ancient world was significant. The intertwining of divine beings with humanity in this account adds a layer of intrigue and mystery, reflecting the complex nature of the Nephilim's origins and their impact on the ancient world. This narrative not only highlights the unique interaction between the divine and human realms, but also underscores the enduring fascination with these enigmatic beings. Perspectives on the sons of God. There are three main perspectives on the identity of the sons of God: fallen angels, powerful human rulers, or godly descendants of Seth intermarrying with wicked descendants of Cain. The interpretation that aligns with angels is supported by the consistent Old Testament usage of sons of God to refer to angelic beings. This context implies that the Nephilim were the offspring of spirit beings and humans, explaining their supernatural attributes. Those who advocate for the fallen angels theory point to passages where the term sons of God clearly denotes heavenly beings. This interpretation suggests a dramatic transgression where these celestial entities left their proper domain to engage with humans. The second perspective considers the sons of God as powerful human rulers who took many wives, creating a class of mighty offspring. This view, while less supernatural, still acknowledges the significant influence these rulers and their descendants had on early human societies. The third perspective sees the sons of God as the pious descendants of Seth, the godly line, intermarrying with the ungodly line of Cain, leading to moral corruption and the emergence of the Nephilim. Each perspective offers a unique lens through which to understand these enigmatic figures, but the angelic interpretation remains compelling due to its support from various scriptural references. This intersection of divine and human realms, regardless of the exact nature of the sons of God, underscores the profound impact these beings had on ancient narratives and continues to captivate those who study these ancient texts. Motivations behind the union. Why would these angels engage in such an act? One compelling theory suggests that their goal was to corrupt the human bloodline to prevent the Messiah's arrival. Genesis 3:15 foretells that the Messiah would crush the serpent's head, a prophecy that Satan sought to thwart by introducing demonic corruption into humanity's genetic pool. By doing so, Satan aimed to create a race of beings unfit to bear the seed of the woman, thus blocking the promised deliverer. This act of rebellion against God's creation was not only a direct challenge to divine authority, but also an attempt to derail God's plan for salvation. The consequences of this transgression were severe and far-reaching, leading to widespread corruption and moral decay among humanity. This unprecedented violation of divine boundaries ultimately prompted God to cleanse the earth through the Great Flood, an event meant to eradicate the pervasive evil and restore purity to the human race. The fallen angel's motivations, rooted in malice and defiance, highlight the broader cosmic struggle between good and evil, with humanity caught in the middle. This narrative underscores the lengths to which these beings would go to oppose God's plan, illustrating the profound impact of their actions on the ancient world and the enduring significance of these events in the biblical story. Their actions reveal a desperate attempt to disrupt the divine order and prevent the fulfillment of God's promises. This cosmic battle between light and darkness, reflected in the motivations and consequences of these unions, continues to captivate those who study these ancient texts and ponder their implications for humanity. God's reaction to the wickedness. Genesis 6:5-8 reveals God's profound sorrow over the pervasive wickedness among humans and his decision to cleanse the earth through a great flood, sparing only Noah and his family. This flood acted as a divine reset, intended to eradicate the Nephilim and their corrupt influence. However, post-flood scriptures, such as Numbers 13:33, suggest the reappearance of giants, hinting at the recurrence of similar transgressions by fallen angels. God's reaction to human sinfulness highlights his grief over the moral decay and corruption that had spread throughout humanity. His decision to initiate the flood was not made lightly, but was a necessary measure to restore order and purity to his creation. Despite this drastic action, the persistence of giants in later texts indicates that the struggle between divine order and rebellious beings continued. This ongoing battle underscores the complex dynamics between heavenly and earthly realms and the lengths to which God would go to maintain his creation's sanctity. The flood narrative serves as a powerful reminder of God's commitment to righteousness and his willingness to take decisive action against corruption. It also illustrates the resilience of human sinfulness and the continual need for vigilance and faithfulness in adhering to divine principles. This timeless lesson resonates with readers, emphasizing the importance of aligning with God's will to avoid the destructive consequences of wickedness. The reappearance of giants post-flood serves as a sobering reminder that the battle between good and evil is ongoing, and the need for righteousness remains ever present in the face of recurring challenges to divine order. The Rephaim and post-flood giants. The term Rephaim frequently appears in the Old Testament, referring to giants who existed after the flood. These beings were significant figures in biblical history, described as giants and feared by the Israelites. The Rephaim were present in Canaan, posing a formidable challenge to the Israelites as they sought to claim the Promised Land. Mentioned in texts like Deuteronomy and Joshua, the Rephaim were not merely mythical figures, but real adversaries who influenced the course of Israelite history. The fear they instilled was not unfounded. Their sheer size and strength made them daunting opponents. Accounts of encounters with the Rephaim, such as King Og of Bashan, who had an enormous bed of iron, emphasize their extraordinary stature and the significant threat they posed. The Rephaim were seen as remnants of a once greater race of giants, whose presence continued to be a symbol of opposition against God's people. Their existence underscores the ongoing struggle between the divine promise to the Israelites and the physical and spiritual challenges they faced. The narratives surrounding the Rephaim highlight the Israelites' reliance on God's strength to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. These stories serve as enduring reminders of the power of faith and the importance of trusting in divine providence when confronting formidable challenges. The Rephaim and other post-flood giants remain captivating subjects within biblical lore, illustrating the timeless battle between good and evil and the relentless pursuit of God's promises amidst adversity. Encounters with giants. Moses' final words in Deuteronomy recount several battles against giants, highlighting the Israelites' encounters with these formidable foes. Among the most notable was King Og of Bashan, a towering figure whose massive iron bed is famously mentioned in the scriptures. Og's defeat by the Israelites is a powerful demonstration of God's might and his ability to deliver his people from seemingly unbeatable adversaries. This victory, along with others against the Rephaim, underscored the Israelites' reliance on divine strength rather than their own might. These battles were not merely physical confrontations, but also spiritual tests of faith and obedience. The giants, with their imposing presence and fearsome reputation, symbolized the daunting obstacles that stood between the Israelites and the fulfillment of God's promises. Yet, through unwavering faith and adherence to God's commands, the Israelites triumphed, showcasing the power of divine intervention. These narratives serve as poignant reminders of the recurring theme in biblical history, that faith in God can overcome even the most insurmountable challenges. Each victory over the giants reinforced the Israelites' dependence on God's strength and the belief that he would lead them to their promised inheritance. The encounters with giants, such as the battles against Og and the Rephaim, are illustrative of the broader struggle between divine purpose and earthly opposition. They emphasize that no matter how powerful the adversary, God's power is greater. The stories of these encounters continue to inspire, reminding believers of the importance of trust in God, especially when facing formidable challenges. The Rephaim, with their extraordinary stature and might, were significant threats. However, the Israelites' victories over them highlighted that physical strength and numbers are no match for divine power. King Og's defeat in particular became a symbol of God's ability to vanquish even the most intimidating foes. These victories were crucial for the Israelites as they settled in the Promised Land, reinforcing their faith and trust in God's promises. The biblical accounts of these encounters serve as timeless testimonies to the power of faith. They illustrate that reliance on God can lead to triumph over seemingly insurmountable odds. The Israelites' experiences with giants like Og of Bashan provide enduring lessons in courage, faith, and the omnipotence of God, reminding believers that no challenge is too great when faced with divine support. The Anakim. The Anakim, descendants of Anak, were another group of giants dwelling in Canaan. These formidable beings were so intimidating that the Israelites, who saw themselves as grasshoppers in comparison, were initially terrified. The Anakim's immense size and strength made them a significant threat, causing fear and doubt among the Israelites. However, amidst this fear, Caleb and Joshua stood out for their unwavering faith in God's promise. Unlike the other spies, who were overwhelmed by the sight of these giants, Caleb and Joshua trusted in God's word and believed that they could conquer the land despite the daunting presence of the Anakim. Their confidence was not in their own strength, but in the power and faithfulness of God. This faith was put to the test during their campaigns in Canaan, where they faced the Anakim in battle. Against all odds, Caleb and Joshua led successful campaigns, proving that faith in God could overcome any obstacle, no matter how insurmountable it seemed. Their victories over the Anakim were a testament to the power of divine assistance and the importance of unwavering trust in God's promises. The defeat of the Anakim was not just a military victory, it was a profound spiritual triumph that reinforced the Israelites' belief in God's supremacy and their divine destiny. Caleb, at the age of 85, was still driven by the promise of God and personally took on the task of driving out the Anakim from their strongholds. His remarkable courage and dedication were rewarded with success, underscoring the principle that true strength comes from faith and obedience to God. The story of the Anakim and their defeat serves as an enduring lesson in the power of faith and the importance of trusting in God's promises, even when faced with overwhelming challenges. It highlights the victory of faith over fear and the fulfillment of God's promises through steadfast belief and action. David and Goliath. The story of David and Goliath is perhaps the most famous biblical account involving a giant, capturing the imagination of countless generations. Goliath, a colossal warrior from Gath, towered over his enemies, instilling fear with his imposing stature and formidable armor. For 40 days, Goliath challenged the Israelites, mocking their God and daring anyone to face him in combat. The Israelites were paralyzed with fear, convinced that no one could match the giant's might. Enter David, a young shepherd boy armed only with a sling and his unwavering faith in God. Unlike the seasoned warriors who cowered at Goliath's taunts, David saw the giant not as an insurmountable obstacle, but as an affront to the living God. His confidence did not stem from physical strength or military prowess, but from his deep trust in God's power and promises. When David stepped onto the battlefield, he rejected the conventional armor offered by King Saul, choosing instead the simple tools of his trade, a sling and 5 smooth stones. As Goliath advanced, mocking the boy who dared to confront him, David proclaimed his faith, declaring that the battle belonged to the Lord. With a single precise shot from his sling, David struck Goliath on the forehead, felling the giant and securing a stunning victory for Israel. This triumph was more than just a physical defeat of a mighty opponent. It was a profound demonstration of the power of faith. David's victory over Goliath illustrated that with God, even the most unlikely and underprepared individuals could overcome the greatest of challenges. This story continues to resonate because it encapsulates the timeless truth that faith in God can turn the tides of seemingly impossible situations. David's courage and reliance on divine strength serve as an enduring inspiration, reminding believers that no giant is too big to defeat when one trusts in God's power. The tale of David and Goliath remains a powerful metaphor for overcoming fear, standing firm in faith, and witnessing the miraculous outcomes that such trust in God can bring. Goliath's relatives and continued battles. Goliath's defeat did not mark the end of Israel's encounters with giants. Goliath had formidable relatives who continued to pose significant threats to Israel. These giants, like Goliath, were fearsome warriors from Gath and other regions, renowned for their immense size and strength. However, David's mighty warriors, empowered by God's strength, rose to the challenge. One of the most notable victories was against Ishbi-Benob, a descendant of the giants who wielded a spear weighing 300 shekels of bronze. Just when it seemed David was about to be overwhelmed, Abishai, one of David's loyal soldiers, came to his aid and struck down the giant. Another warrior, Sibbecai the Hushathite, defeated Saph, another descendant of the giants, further showcasing Israel's divine empowerment. Elhanan, the son of Jair, famously killed Lami, the brother of Goliath, whose spear was as large as a weaver's beam. The battles didn't end there. A giant with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot also challenged Israel, only to be struck down by Jonathan, the son of Shimea, David's brother. These continued victories were not merely military successes, but powerful affirmations of God's enduring protection over his people. Each encounter with these giants reinforced the lesson that reliance on God could conquer even the mightiest foes. These stories, embedded in Israel's history, served as enduring reminders of the divine assistance that accompanied the Israelites. The warriors' courage and faith, combined with God's unwavering support, ensured that no giant could prevail against them. These narratives also highlighted the theme that God's power and protection were not limited to David alone, but extended to all who fought under his guidance. The relentless opposition by Goliath's relatives and their subsequent defeats underscored a crucial spiritual truth, that God's strength is made perfect in human weakness, and through faith, even the most formidable challenges can be overcome. This legacy of victory continued to inspire the Israelites, reinforcing their faith and trust in God's promises and power. The legends of the Nephilim and their encounters with humanity remind us of the timeless battle between good and evil, faith and fear. These stories continue to inspire and captivate us, highlighting the power of divine strength and the importance of unwavering faith. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient mysteries, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Lord Saved Us for more insightful content. Thank you for watching, and may your faith always guide you through life's giants.